तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमो आचार्य पदाय कृपा प्रदायिने गौर कथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम तारणे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओं तत्सत् Yes, last time we read the importance of approaching a bona fide spiritual master. So basically, iske pehle, the previous verses, Lord Krishna was talking a lot and about sacrifices, about yajna, and we understood what is the importance of yajna. Yajna means any activity which is done to satisfy the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. And Lord Krishna says in human form of life, all of us must perform yajna. Yajna करने से क्या होता है? What is the result of yajna?
Self-realization
Yeah, that is the ultimate goal. But
goal.
immediate जो result होता है
control
वो है purification.
control of senses.
Yeah, control over our senses and purification of the heart.
Yeah, yeah.
इसके लिए
How to
purification होता है तो we become more stronger and we are able to even control our mind and senses. But the end result of every yajna is that so that we attain transcendental knowledge.
knowledge.
We attain self-realization. That's the main purpose. But
Hmm.
immediate result is that we become purified, we get control over our senses, then whatever like our existence becomes purified by performing yajna. And without purification, we cannot even perform bhakti. We cannot even attain the transcendental knowledge. We have to rise at least to the mode of goodness in order to understand the instructions of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so in order to rise to the mode of goodness, we must perform yajna. Now Lord Krishna says, whatever varnashram dharma we are in, everyone is supposed to perform yajna. And then different paths also, like karmis, jnanis, yogis, how every person, if somebody is a karmi, then what kind of a yajna he performs, what sacrifices he does, what does a karma, a jnani yogi, how does he sacrifice, what are his sacrifices, and what are the sacrifices of a yogi and for a bhakti yogi. So we discussed all that. And then finally, Krishna says in 33 that 32 and 33 that actually the purpose of all sacrifices is to know Krishna, to attain transcendental knowledge about the Supreme Truth, the Supreme Lord. And that transcendental knowledge, of course, we have to do yajna in our day-to-day life. Basically, yajna matlab हमें कहा जाता है कि day-to-day life में you try to do all your activities in such a way that it pleases Krishna. So naturally, all our activities becomes a yajna. It is not that just one day we have to do one fire sacrifice once a year or so. एक यज्ञ रख दिया वैसा नहीं. Krishna says every day, every moment, all your activity should be for the pleasure of Krishna. So that is bhakti yoga. Okay. And then, but just performing yajna or sacrifice is not the goal. The goal is to attain transcendental knowledge. Now there is another step. Krishna says that yes, first you have to rise to the mode of goodness. Then most important is to attain try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. This is given in text 34. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Right? So the self-realized souls can impart us knowledge because they have seen the truth. So you must simply try to approach such spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, inquire from them submissively and render service unto him. So main thing important is humility and service. Okay. With all humility, we must serve a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively about the supreme truth, and we must serve him menially. Menial service we should do for him. Okay, so that is the way to attain the transcendental knowledge. Now let's read the text 35. Sita Lakshmi Mataji, will you repeat this verse?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Yajgyatva na punarmoham
Yajñātvā na punarmoham
evam yasasi pandava
evam yasyasi pandava
yena bhutani yasheshani
yena bhutani sheshani
drakshasyatmannav atho mai.
द्रक्ष्यस्यास्य आत्मनात्योमयि
Atmani
द्रक्ष
atmai. You can break up and
द्रक्ष्यस्य
see. Break up.
द्रक्ष्यस्यास्य आत्मनो अतोमयि.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yet which Jnatva knowing, na never, puna again, moham to illusion, evam like this, yasyasi you shall go, Pandava O son of Pandu, ena by which, bhutani living entities, asyasyeni O all, drakshyasi you will see, atmani in the supreme soul, atha you, or in other words, my in me. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion, for by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. Purport. Purport should I read, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
The result of receiving knowledge from a self-realized soul or one who knows things as they are is learning that all living beings are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. The sense of existence separate from Krishna is called Maya. Something that we have nothing to do with Krishna, that Krishna is only a great historical personality and that the Absolute is the impersonal Brahman. Factually, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, this impersonal Brahman is the personal effulgence of Krishna. Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of everything. In the Brahma Samhita, it is clearly Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of everything. In the Brahmana Samhita, it is clearly stated that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. Even the millions of incarnations are only his different expansions. Similarly, the living entities are also expansions of Krishna. The Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that Krishna loses his own separate existence in his many expansions. This thought is material in nature. We have experience in the material world that a thing, when fragmentally distributed, loses its own original identity. But the Mayavadi philosophers fail to understand that absolute means that 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 and that 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. This is the case in the absolute world. For
Hare
want
Krishna.
of
Yes, Mataji, we'll
Hare
stop.
Krishna Mataji. Yes.
Yes. So, what is the result of knowledge? It is mentioned here, once we attain this knowledge, we can see everyone as part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, because right now our mentality is I and mine. Right? We live in a world of duality. This is me, this is I, this is my family, this is my friend, that is my enemy. So enemy and friend, good and bad, happiness and distress. So we are living in a dual world, in a world of illusion. where we have excluded Lord Krishna from our life. But when we attain the transcendental knowledge, we see that everyone is coming from Krishna. Everything is emanating from Krishna. Nothing is separate from him. Then we start seeing everything connected with Krishna. We start seeing everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. So this makes a whole lot of difference in our vision, in our understanding of this world, right? And we become completely Krishna conscious, how everything is coming from Krishna. That's the result of gyan or knowledge. Okay, normally we think knowledge means bas हाँ degree ले लिया कोई और we get some position in life, that is knowledge, but actually that's agyan. That is taking us away from Krishna. If after studying, after getting all degrees, we say that there is no God, or we become atheist, then what kind of knowledge is that? Real knowledge will make us Krishna conscious. Real knowledge will make us see everything connected to Krishna, because everything is emanation from Krishna, from the energy of Krishna. So Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that the Brahman, the Jyoti, on which the entire universe is um, resting, that Brahma Jyoti is just an effulgence from the body of Lord Krishna. In Brahma Samhita also Krishna says, Lord Brahma says that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are so many incarnations of Krishna, so many expansions of Krishna. But amongst all of them, Krishna is the Supreme. From Krishna, everybody else is coming. All the expansions, all the incarnations. Okay, so Mayavadis, there is a class of spiritualists. There are a class of spiritualists who are called as Mayavadis. Who are these Mayavadis? They are the ones who deny the existence of God or the form of the God. They think that we are all God. All of us are God. That one God or that one energy, it got splitted into many, and in this material world, and got covered by illusion. And we just have to come out of the illusion and we become that God. This is their mentality or their thought process. But because uh, so basically their understanding is completely absurd and incomplete. They cannot understand that the Supreme Lord is a person, he has a form, and we are his part and parcel. We are not God, we are his parts. Okay, we can never become, we can never take his position. So, and their theory is that, how in material world we say that अगर आप एक कागज का टुकड़ा लोगे, उस कागज के टुकड़े को अगर आप मतलब एक कागज को आप अगर आप उसका टुकड़ा टुकड़ा करोगे, तो वो कागज का आइडेंटिटी चला जाता है, राइट? इट बिकम स्मॉल पीसेस ओनली. वैसे ही वो मायावादी लोग क्या कहते हैं कि वो जो एक एनर्जी है वो अलग अलग टुकड़े में स्प्लिट हो गया है, और अभी हम सब मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में वो अलग अलग टुकड़ा है. So that one energy has now split it into many small particles. Okay, and so that one energy has no existence now. We all have to unite after giving up the body. We all have to unite to become that one God. So this is their theory, but they do not know that absolute का मतलब क्या है. 1 plus 1 is also 1 and 1 minus 1 is also 1. मतलब क्या है कि भगवान, भले हम भगवान के अंश हैं, भगवान का अपना एक अलग अस्तित्व है, आइडेंटिटी है. ही इज अ पर्सन एग्जिस्टिंग सेपरेटली. ऐसा नहीं है कि वही भगवान जो है वो स्प्लिट हो गए हैं बहुत सारे जीवात्माओं में, एंड नाउ वी आर गॉड एंड वी हैव टू बिकम गॉड, वी हैव टू रियलाइज दैट वी आर गॉड. तो ऐसा नहीं है. वी आर ऑलवेज पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ कृष्णा. अभी हम राइट नाउ वी आर कंडीशनड बाय कृष्णा's एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी. Even when we become liberated, we will remain part and parcel of Krishna, although in a liberated state. So our position is always to serve Krishna. It is always that we are subordinate to Krishna. We can never become one with Krishna. So
Continue.
yes, Mataji. So anybody has any question regarding whatever we have discussed now?
Mataji, I'm not able to understand 1 minus 1. How can be 1? They think you just...
Yeah, 1 minus 1 is 0, no, in material world. But
Yeah.
spiritual world में 1 minus 1 is also 1, meaning जो है कृष्ण जो है, इतने सारे उनकी शक्तियां हैं, और इतने हम जो जीव हैं, हम भी भगवान के ही अंश हैं. तो हम भगवान से सेपरेट होने के बावजूद भी भगवान, ही इज कंप्लीट,
अच्छा
नेवर
अच्छा
बिकम्स
ओके
इनकम्प्लीट.
ओके अच्छा अच्छा
जैसे
ओके ना
मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में हम क्या देखते हैं कि कोई एक हिस्सा आप निकाल दो तो वो इनकम्प्लीट हो जाता है ना, जब तक वो हिस्सा उस पर लग ना जाए. लेकिन हम भगवान के अंश होने के बावजूद हम उनसे मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में भी हैं तो भी कृष्णा इनकम्प्लीट नहीं होते, ही इज ऑलवेज कंप्लीट दैट वे।
Okay. Okay. Understood.
प्लीज कंटिन्यू माता जी।
Yeah, yes, Mataji. For want of sufficient knowledge in the absolute science, we are now covered with illusion, and therefore we think that we are separate from Krishna. Although we are separated parts of Krishna, we are nevertheless not different from him. The bodily difference of the living entities is Maya, or not actual fact. We are all meant to satisfy Krishna. By Maya alone, Arjuna thought that the temporary bodily relationship with his kinsmen was more important than his eternal spiritual relationship with Krishna. The whole teaching of the Gita is targeted towards this end, that a living being, as Krishna's eternal servitor, cannot be separated from Krishna, and his sense of being and identity apart from Krishna is called Maya.
One
The
minute.
living, हाँ,
We'll stop here.
yes, Mother.
So what is knowledge and what is Maya? Maya मतलब illusion. तो अभी हम illusion में हैं और हमें knowledge चाहिए. हम illusion में हैं मतलब हम क्या सोच रहे हैं अभी? That we are separate from Krishna, right? हम भगवान से अलग हैं ऐसा हम सोचते हैं. हम ये शरीर है और ये दुनिया ही सब कुछ है और हम भगवान से अलग हैं. लेकिन रियल नॉलेज जब हमें मिलता है तो हमें पता चलता है कि दैट कृष्णा इज एब्सोल्यूट, ही इज सुप्रीम, सब कुछ उन्हीं से आ रही है और हम उनसे अलग नहीं हो सकते. भले हम उनके अंश हैं तो साइज में तो हम एकदम छोटे छोटे पार्टिकल हैं, लेकिन क्वालिटी वाइज वी आर सेम विद कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद. क्वांटिटी वाइज वी आर डिफरेंट. राइट नाउ वी आर कंडीशनड बाय हिज एक्सटर्नल पोटेंसी माया या एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी. ओके एंड दैट वी आर हिज इटर्नल सर्वेंट्स. ओके हम भगवान के नित्य दास हैं. तो अभी भले ही हम बंधे हुए हैं एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी से भगवान के, लेकिन अगर हम अभी भी ये समझ करके हम भगवान के दास हैं एंड वी एंगेज एवरीथिंग इन कृष्णा सर्विस, देन वी ऑटोमेटिकली rise above the Maya. We are situated in our original constitutional position as a servant of Krishna. So basically, when we think we are something different from being servant of Krishna, when we think we are only Krishna, we are the enjoyers, and this material world is everything, that is Maya. But when we see that, yeah, this material world is also coming from Krishna, I am also Krishna's part and parcel, and my duty is to serve Krishna, is to make him happy. So when I engage everything in Krishna's service, that is like, I'm rising above Maya. Then I'm in my true sense of being. Okay, but अगर मैं वैसा नहीं सोचती हूँ तो मैं माया में हूँ. Everybody is understanding what is Maya and what is not Maya?
Yes,
What is
Mataji.
real knowledge and what is Maya or illusion?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Please read further, Madhuri.
The living entities, as separate parts and parcels of the Supreme, have a purpose to fulfill. Having forgotten that purpose since time immemorial, they are situated in different bodies as men, animals, demigods, etc. Such bodily differences arise from forgetfulness of the transcendental service of the Lord. But when one is engaged in transcendental service through Krishna consciousness, one becomes at once liberated from this illusion. One can acquire such pure knowledge only from the bona fide spiritual master and thereby avoid the delusion that the living entity is equal to Krishna. Perfect knowledge is that the Supreme Soul Krishna is the supreme shelter for all living entities, and giving up such shelter, the living entities are deluded by the material energy, imagining themselves to have a separate identity. Thus, under different standards of material identity, they become forgetful of Krishna. When, however, such diluted living entities become situated in Krishna consciousness, it is to be understood that they are on the path of liberation, as confirmed in the Bhagavatam 2.10.6, Muktir Hitvanyata Rupam Swarupena Vyavastitah. Liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna. So right now we are covered with illusion and we think that we are separate from Krishna. बट व्हेन वी अप्रोच अ बोनाफाइड स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर, तो एक गुरु क्या करते हैं हमारे जीवन में आके? जो गुरु हैं वो हमें कृष्ण से जोड़ते हैं, वो हमें कृष्ण की सेवा में लगाते हैं, राइट? दैट इज हाउ देन वी स्टार्ट लिविंग इन अवर ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजिशन एज अ सर्वेंट ऑफ कृष्णा. A guru says that we are all servants of Krishna. अगर एक गुरु ये कहे कि मैं ही कृष्णा हूँ और तुम you become my follower, you serve me, then that guru is a fake guru. But real guru is one who will tell you that we are all servants of Krishna and that we should serve Krishna. Whatever you have, engage that in Krishna's service. तो एक गुरु जो है आपको भगवान की सेवा में लगाएगा, वो रियल गुरु है. और ऐसे गुरु का, ऐसे वैष्णव का, ऐसे सेंटली पर्सनालिटी का सेवा करने से हम जो है एनलाइटेंड हो जाते हैं. वी बिकम एनलाइटेंड. दैट्स द सीक्रेट टू अक्वायर द ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज. सो ये जो सीक्रेट है वो भगवान ने इस तरह से भगवत गीता में दी है ना, कि कोई लोग इतने सालों से भगवत गीता पढ़ रहे हैं बट नोबडी इज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि रियल भगवत गीता में भगवान क्या कह रहे हैं. तो रियल एक्चुअली भगवान यही कह रहे हैं भगवत गीता में, that approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render him service, and you will be enlightened. Because enlightenment हमें सिर्फ अपनी मेहनत करने से नहीं आएगा. कोई भी, जैसे अष्टांग योगीज जो है योगा कर रहे हैं, ज्ञानी योगीज जो है सारे वेदों को पढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं भगवान को समझने के लिए. तो बेसिकली everybody is trying on their own to understand Krishna, to understand the absolute truth, but they are not successful. They attain only half knowledge. Whereas complete knowledge हमें कब मिलता है? जब हमें कृपा मिलती है. एक गुरु के द्वारा जब हमें कृपा मिलता है तो वो सारा सारा नॉलेज, कंप्लीट नॉलेज हमारे हृदय में प्रकट करते हैं. और ये हम कैसे जान सकते हैं? जैसे दिस इज देयर इन अवर डिसिप्लिक सक्सेशन ओनली. Right from the beginning of creation, when Brahmaji was born from the lotus of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he was ignorant. He didn't know what to do. Who am I? मुझे करना क्या है? ये दुनिया क्या है? He started meditating, no answer. Then he started digging inside. तो वो स्टेम के अंदर चले जाते हैं और गर्भोदक्षय विष्णु तक चले जाते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी वो देख नहीं पाते हैं भगवान को. फिर वापस ऊपर आते हैं. एंड देन ही हियर्स तप. He starts doing tapasya. He starts chanting Gayatri mantra. For 100 celestial years, he did that. And then when Lord Krishna was pleased, he instructed him in his heart. और उन्होंने सारा उनको reality जो है spiritual world दिखाया, material worlds दिखाए. And then Brahma was enlightened. So basically ये जो enlightenment या self realization की हम जो बात करते हैं, ये बहुत ही सिंपल है. It is only simply by serving or pleasing a guru. Now here Brahma ji, he pleased his guru Krishna, the original personality of Godhead Krishna. He pleased him by his tapasya, by chanting Gayatri mantra, and that is how Krishna enlightened him. So Krishna is our original guru actually, but for all of us, for the rest of the jivas, Krishna acts through, he sends a person as a representative of himself. वो अपने आप के एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव भेजते हैं हमारे लिए, जिन्हें हम गुरु के नाम से जानते हैं, बोनाफाइड आध्यात्मिक गुरु. ओके, तो ये गुरु जो है उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं. तो ऐसे गुरु का भी जब हम सेवा करते हैं तो वो गुरु जब खुश हो जाते हैं हमसे, ही एनलाइटन्स अस. और ये एनलाइटनमेंट इज सो सटल दैट ऐसा नहीं कि कोई इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास होता है, वो गुरु हमारे अंदर कोई इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पास करेंगे एंड वी विल बिकम कंप्लीटली सेल्फ रियलाइज्ड, ऐसा नहीं है. हाँ, तो इट इज वेरी सटल. तो वो जो ही व्हेन ही बिकम्स प्लीज जस्ट बाय हिज ब्लेसिंग्स, that complete transcendental knowledge comes to us. So one can acquire such pure knowledge only from the bona fide spiritual master and thereby avoid the delusion that the living entity is equal to Krishna. तो ये जो है ये नॉलेज मिलने के बाद हमारा जो इल्यूजन है कि हम भगवान के बराबर के हैं या हम भगवान हैं या हम मुक्त हो जाएंगे तो भगवान बन जाएंगे, तो all these illusions will go away and we will get the perfect knowledge that I am not Krishna but I am a servant of Krishna. I am part and parcel of Krishna. My only duty is to serve and please Krishna. Right, so any question from anyone? Okay, we go to the next verse.
No,
Continue.
Mataji. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Mm.
Who wants to read this verse? One of you can just unmute and read. Alka Mataji, you can read this verse?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, we will just do one more and then, yeah, we will do this verse and then we can stop. Yeah. Api chedasi papebhyah
अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः
sarvebhyah papakrittamah
सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्येभ्यः
sarvam jnanaplavenaiva
सर्वे ज्ञानम् अप्लेम
vrijinam santarishyasi.
वृजिनं सन्तिष्ठसि अपि even saith if asi you are papebhya of sinner sarvebhya of all pap pap papkratamya the greatest sinner sarvam of all such sinful reactions janam janana plevena by the boat of transcendental knowledge eva certainly brijnam the ocean of misery sant rishiyasi you will cross completely. Translation: even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all the sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Purport: proper understanding of one's constitutional position in relationship to Krishna is so nice that it can at once lift one from the struggle of existence which goes on in the ocean of nescience. This material world is sometimes regarded as an ocean of nescience and sometimes a blazing forest. In the ocean, however expert a swimmer may be, the struggle of existence is very severe. If someone comes forward and lifts the struggling swimmer from the ocean, he is the greatest savior. Perfect knowledge received from the supreme personality of Godhead is the path of liberation. The boat of Krishna consciousness is simple, but at the same time the most sublime. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So this transcendental knowledge, this is so sublime and so pure that once we receive this knowledge, we will rise above all miseries of our life, all problems of our life. Why do problems arise in our life?
Due to our
Lack
previous
of knowledge,
Yeah,
lack of transcendental knowledge.
lack of transcendental. So basically, whatever problems are there in our lives, it is only because of our misidentification with the material world. Right? We are actually pure spirit souls. We are not supposed to be in here. We are not supposed to be a part of the world, material world. But because we are identifying ourselves with the world, we think that I am this body. So whatever is happening with the body, it is making me sad. Right? Now, for example, I get some disease. Now, where is that disease happening? In the body. Who am I? I'm not the body, I'm a soul. I'm a soul who is sitting inside the body. But why do I get the pain of suffering, of that I'm suffering from this disease? Or suppose I lose someone, my loved ones. Why do we suffer? Because I think that I am this body and so is my closest friend, or or whatever family relationships or whatever relationships we have. And then we sense that I have lost it, that person, because now that person doesn't exist. But actually, no, we are not the bodies. We have a relationship, even if like the relationships that we have, it is soul to soul relationship. And the soul is always eternal. Soul never dies. Soul is simply going on in different journey. Each of us have our own journey. राइट, तो हम अपने अपने जर्नी में खाली अलग अलग शरीर ले रहे हैं, लेकिन सोल तो शाश्वत है. सोल इज इटर्नल, सोल नेवर डाइज. तो ये नॉलेज मिलने के बाद कितनी राहत मिलती है कि नहीं मिलती है? अदरवाइज नॉर्मली वी थिंक, ओ आई हैव लॉस्ट, वी लूज अवर लव्ड वंस. ओके, वन डे वी विल लूज एवरीवन. ये जो थॉट है, ये कितना स्कैरी है ना? लूज अवर beloved one. This
Yes,
thought itself is so scary, and then it makes us so depressed, और suffering कितना हो सकता है इसके वजह से. लेकिन अगर ये knowledge हमें मिल जाए कि नहीं, we are all eternal souls, nobody dies actually, we never die. It is just the body which is changing. Now, for example, even in this lifetime, we have changed so many bodies from childhood to this age. अभी हम सब लोग लाइक मिडिल एज में हैं, लेकिन बचपन से हमने कितने सारे शरीर बदले हैं. बट डिड वी क्राई ओवर इट? We didn't, right? We didn't cry. We have lost our identity as a child, as a newborn baby. We have lost our identity as a child, as a young girl, as a young boy, or whatever. Now we are in the middle age. Now, even this identity we will lose one day, and one day old age will come, right? So we are losing our identity so many times, even in this lifetime. But what happens when death comes? We feel that we have lost everything, but actually we are just changing from one body to another body. The soul is moving forward in its journey, and the soul never dies. So this knowledge gives us so much relief that yes, my loved one is not, it's not that that person has died. It's just that person is existing in some other form, in different body, and we still have relationship with we can still have relationship with the soul in the form that we can pray for the soul. Whatever we pray, the prayer also goes to that soul. That is why we do all this, no? Forefathers के लिए हम क्यों करते हैं श्राद्ध? क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि कनेक्शन रहता है हमारा, राइट? इसलिए जब हम श्राद्ध करते हैं तो उनको वो बेनिफिट जाता है. So all this transcendental knowledge, and then this knowledge that Krishna, we actually belong to the spiritual world, we belong to Krishna. Everybody is connected to Krishna, right? तो ये जो supreme knowledge है, ये हमें बहुत ही it takes away all our miseries actually. Actually, जो miseries, basically मेरा question था, why do we suffer or why do miseries exist? It is only because of misidentification with the material world, right? So once we understand that actually I belong to Krishna and everybody belongs to Krishna, so there is no question of losing anyone. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna, and everyone is eternal. So this fact, this knowledge takes away all our so-called miseries which may arise because of ignorance. Of course, we do still feel pain. जब हम किसी को खोते हैं तो हम naturally pain तो feel करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि हम अभी stone hearted हो जाएंगे just by attaining the knowledge. But at least we don't be so much affected. जैसे हम पहले affect हुआ करते थे, अगर अज्ञानता में जो हम affect होते हैं वो अलग होता है. और we have the knowledge, but of course due to having emotions we do feel pain. That is okay, but we overcome that, right? We overcome that very quickly or very easily. Because we have this knowledge, so it helps us to overcome that temporary phase of pain, right? So that is why having this transcendental knowledge is very, very important in human form of life. If we lose this opportunity, अगर ये मनुष्य के जीवन में ही खाली हमें ये मौका मिलता है कि हम ये ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज प्राप्त कर सकें, और अगर हमने ये मौका खो दिया, तो अगेन नाउ वी जस्ट गो ऑन चेंजिंग डिफरेंट बॉडीज. सो अगला जन्म हम लोगों को प्लांट का मिलेगा कि एनिमल मिलेगा, बर्ड मिलेगा, क्या मिलेगा, वी डोंट नो. We may even get a human body, but we don't know where we will be, right? Because we are seeing that in this world, when we preach Krishna consciousness, we understand that how people are not interested. They are so much engrossed in their daily routine life, that people are really not interested in trying to understand Bhagavad Gita or the real knowledge. So that can happen to us also in next lifetime. So better we utilize this lifetime, this human form of life that we have got. And now that we are getting this knowledge, we must take it very as a great fortune कि हमारे बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि हमें ये नॉलेज मिल रहा है और इससे हमें और जानने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए और उसका प्रोसेस क्या बताया भगवान ने कि just be in association of devotees, try to serve a bona fide spiritual master, try to serve him, please him, and you will get enlightenment. Yeah. So any question, anyone?
No, Mataji. Well explained, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Acha, Swati Mataji, are you